I have a lot of hard lessons learned, powerlifting, especially into my mid 50s. It seems like every week I learn something new. Really concerned my body and just how it adapts, how it recovers, and such. So I want to share with you 4 lessons that I've learned. And lesson number 1 is recovery is hard. And so you must avoid grinders. If I have a grinder on a deadlift where it's an RPE 10 plus, I cannot recover from it within 2 weeks at minimum, and then that impacts my training, and that hurts my next meet. And so I avoid grinders at all costs. That doesn't matter if it's bench, deadlift, or squat, but I can get away with it more on the bench, but definitely not deadlift, and not so much squat either. So I avoid grinders. It just takes too long to recover from. Lesson number 2 is my nervous system takes longer to train, where I need about 8 weeks to prep for a meet. And in the past, I can get away with 4 to 6 weeks to get my nervous system prepped and ready to go, and not anymore. And I need to feel that heavy weight further out, and I need to feel it a little more often, it seems like, in order to get it prepared. And so it takes longer to prep. And so the prep is really important, to have that set correctly. When you're younger, you can get away with just about anything and get stronger, but not 55. Lesson number 3 is volume is a killer. So I try to keep my volume about at the most 3 reps. I may go 5 sets of 3, and then 1 week, and then 4 sets at 3, 3 sets at 3, 2 sets at 3, and then take a deload, and then start over and increase the weight, or however, just as long as I'm, gaining some strength. And but the closer I get to the meet, it's definitely going to be less and less volume and more intensity. And but volume is a killer. On my accessories, I do keep the volume up, lighter weight, and so that doesn't seem to fatigue me as much. But when it comes to the main lifts, I have to keep it at 3. Lesson number 4 is my nervous system detrains faster. And so if I don't feel the heavy weight for a couple of weeks, it takes me longer to get that back. And so I have to be really careful and not allow my nervous system to detrain too much. Even on a deload, I have to feel some heavy weights. I got to go at least a 7, RPE 7, 70% of 1 rep max, or somewhere in that area. Even if it's just for a single, I need to feel the heavy weight. I just hate it when I lose my strength because it takes so much longer to get it back. And recovery is such a crucial part of powerlifting, and not enough of us give enough time for recovery. And so that's also very important, is giving yourself bench press maybe just once or twice a week, squat once a week, and then have some accessories, at least for the back squat once a week, and then accessories. Deadlift once a week, and then I alternate off the floor 1 week, and then the next week I'll do an elevated deadlift, rack pull, or some way of getting a bar about 18 inches off the ground. And that seems to help me. And on the deadlift, when I pull off the floor, I use bands. I need to get that speed work in. I need to be more explosive, because that's something else you lose as you get older. You lose that explosiveness. And so you need to use bands or something like that to help that explosiveness come back. And so there's a lot to it. We're all different. Our bodies are adapt differently to strength training, and we have to learn how our body reacts to it. And these are just lessons that I've learned that seem to help me quite a bit.